with him. Just fucking stay with him. Darling, if I had bought you flowers, what if you stayed at home the night? Yeah, I've been lonely counting hours while I'm getting blinded by the light. You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. Just fucking stay with him. Just fucking stay with him. Break my bones. Break
Photographers, welcome in, my friend. Welcome in.
promises,
How are you doing?
but leave me alone. Don't break my heart.
Can you check Discord?
When I'm up through the night, I can't turn down the noise, tear all the worries out of my mind. I'm supposed to
That
be, I
one's
start to believe
tough.
I can't get it right.
I don't know what to do, mate.
Days I let slip away, they were simpler times.
Maybe tag everybody, see if they're ready. Going back home for a month. Haven't seen my parents for almost 3 years. I'm glad you're going back home. Tanvi, welcome in.
My compass was wrong, and I'm still on my way closer to where I belong. I'm still rolling the dice, praying sometimes don't last it long. I'm losing my faith, I'm walking away from what you knew all along.
Go on Wednesday. It's gonna be stressful. Have too much to do and tend to too many people to meet. I understand that for sure. PZ, welcome in. Are you watching Quali? I'll keep chat updated just in case. We are watching Quali right now.
When you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget who you are. Don't lose your head or your heart. I'll bet my life on your stars. You'll be dancing, dancing on the moon. I'll bet my life you'll be dancing on the moon.
Welcome in. Welcome in. Give me 1 second, actually. There we go. We're gonna go here, and then we're gonna go here. Welcome in. Welcome in. Welcome in. We do have quali in the background, so don't know if we're gonna be starting till after quali. I don't really know what we're doing there, so we'll let you guys know. Shay, welcome in. Give me 1 second, actually. What we're gonna do is we're gonna fix this. Give me 1 second.
Oh, darling, if
We're gonna fix this.
would you still be
We'll just keep an eye on Discord to see if we're gonna be racing. Once I go back, I may or may not be able to join the streams past midnight according to Indian time. I'll try though. All good if you can't, brother. I get that for sure.
You can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him.
No, and that is an issue. But just looking at the radar that we've got here, there is another gap in the weather. I can see it, and I can actually see why the FIA thinks 16:15 could happen. It might still be raining at 16:15.
Yeah.
But there is another gap coming in the weather.
All right, there we go.
16:25. So, yeah, Ted, I don't know if you got.
I don't know. Panda made the event for 9, so
Go to 10 in just a couple of seconds. Just wanted to tell you, Japan 2004, Japan 2010, Australia 2013, USA 2015, Japan 2019 were moments where we had qualifying postponements and qualifying carried over to race day. And Australia 2013 is a pertinent one because we got qualifying going and we had to come back for Q3. So there is always that option from the FIA. Meanwhile, let's head down to 10 in the pit lane.
Yeah, thank you very much. Well, Niels Vittich has now come back into the pits, and there's a 4x4
All right.
just sort of going and scraping the surface. I don't know what the view is, but there we go. So Tim Mallion talking to.
we're sat down now.
And,
I don't believe you guys can
safety is
see
all in it. Here is Niels Vittich. What do you think? Is
the
it possible?
screen.
Not now at the moment. We have to wait a few more minutes to see if the weather conditions increase a little bit.
Thank you, Niels. There you go. That was just, yeah, not possible. And I don't know whether it's wet in the safety car, but or whether he's just particularly with the trend in short trousers. But I think he's
That is the
preparing
international
just to,
screen.
Yeah, to keep the old socks dry, Crofty. Maybe he's just trying to avoid the Karun Chandok wet socks issue. But okay, not possible then. I don't know what we do, really, Crofty. We sort of extend and extend and extend. You say there's 19 minutes, 20 minutes delay as to where we are at the moment, but look how much darker it's getting out at the moment there. Interestingly, the teams are still in position. Look down to the Red Bull garage over here, and then the Mercedes have actually got their cover on the pit wall gantry. The mechanics keen to know what we know now, which is that the race director says that it's not really possible. So, well, you never know. I might go down and tell them.
Yay.
Well, I think the message might be getting around to a few people as well. Ted, thanks for that. And well done for getting Niels Vittich.
I think
our
we're
race
30
director,
minutes
to
out
give
from
us a
race
comment.
from the quali starting right
I'm
now.
just being told now, as Niels has gone back into that FIA garage, he's radioed to the person who types out all the information on the timing screens that we've got a further delay. So forget 4:15 local time.
Yeah, I'll be right
Estimated
back.
Time of qualifying now 4:30. So in nearly half an hour, basically 38 and a half minutes time. That's the estimated start time for qualifying, and that's the problem. You can see the weather radar, big cells. Sao Paulo is a massive city, but that cloud and that rain is pretty much covering most of Sao Paulo, it seems. Oh, it's thoroughly depressing, but you know, we should have known this, Karun. It always rains in November here.
Yeah, I tell you what I am disappointed about is we're not going to see Lewis Hamilton doing a demonstration in that Senna McLaren, because that was scheduled for 5:15 local time, and the way it's going, that he will still be driving the Mercedes engineered by the man on our screen, Pete Ponnington, rather than the 1990 championship-winning McLaren.
Yeah. I was looking forward to seeing him in that McLaren as well, and I know you've been excited ever since we got here.
Well, I went down to have a look at the car earlier, and it's the actual car that did the Japanese Grand Prix, that famous collision with Senna and Prost at the first corner. And you remember our old friend Taff from McLaren?
Yes,
he's down
former
there.
team manager.
Yeah, and he is actually running the car this weekend, and he was Lewis's #1 mechanic when Lewis won the World Championship here in Brazil 2008. So he was looking forward to a nice little reunion, and he showed me around the car, and you could see all the damage and the repair job they've done on the tub from that crash in Suzuka. So yeah, really nice bit of F1 history that Lewis was going to enjoy.
See, I thought you were going to finish that sentence there and say 16 years to the day since Lewis Hamilton won his world title here in 2008, because it is the 16th anniversary today of Is That Glock? And yes, it was. And yes, he did get past him, and Felipe Massa was world champion, and the Paulistas were going absolutely crazy for round about 30 seconds until Lewis Hamilton crossed the line, and he made up that place that he needed to, and he took that world championship.
I wish I remembered that earlier when I was talking to Timo Glock and Felipe Massa together.
They were reunion chat.
They were loitering by the Skypad and having a little reunion.
Wonderful scenes in the crowd. A lot of Argentine fans here as well. Who've come to see Franco Colapinto. And well,
I'm not standing and sleeping.
I'm not surprised.
We back.
He's having a bit of a chill-out moment, to be honest. He got up very early yesterday morning, did Ollie Behrman, 6:30 in the morning, because his phone was ringing, and it was Io Komatsu, the team
I did get
principal at Haas,
candy.
saying, I don't know what your plans are for today, but we've got a spare seat, so
She can
why don't you
talk.
pop
It's
in,
okay.
do a practice, do a qualifying, and then race in the sprint, and then see how it goes for the weekend. And how it's going for the weekend is that he will stay in Kevin Magnussen's car, Kevin not feeling at all well, and will continue to deputise and aim to be the first driver ever to score
One piece.
He scored points in his first 2 races for 2 different constructors, and wants to make it 3 out of 3. And on our pit wall this weekend, our direct link, Io Komatsu is listening to us. So, team boss, before we get into Ollie Behrman, congratulations, your team Coventry City won 3-0 today. I don't know if you knew the score or not, but that might be one of the best pieces of news you're going to hear today.
Yeah, I knew, because one of the mechanics actually on Nico's car is a Middlesbrough supporter, so I might have said a few things to him.
Even better, although my team managed to lose on the wrong end of a 3-0 scoreline, so I didn't really want to talk football too much. But let's move on to the Formula One. And we'll start with Ollie Behrman, if you don't
Is your
mind.
phone inverted?
How impressed are you with the way that he's driven so far this weekend? And what was his issues in the sprint race? Because he fell back a bit towards the end.
Yeah, I'm very, very impressed with a short notice, lack of preparation to hit the FP1 running like that, and then the qualifying performance was amazing. Sorry, sprint shootout performance was amazing, and the SQ3, that wasn't his fault.
Just give it a minute.
Failure on one of our
Delayed because there's so much water on the track.
Tires were too cold. And then, yeah, this morning on the sprint, yeah, we didn't do the tire management very well.
And yes, technically right now we are doing a
so
watch-along
we need to
stream.
improve on that. So yeah, that's something we're going to go through tonight for tomorrow.
Io, can you maybe just put a bit more meat on the bone there, just to explain to people at home when you say you didn't do a good job on time management?
Really, we're just
what does that mean? Is
snacking
that
and
you
watching
guys on
F1
the
right
pit
now.
wall not setting the right pace targets for Ollie to follow?
Because
Is that about
unfortunately,
him in the cockpit, needing to feel the
Panda
tire
set the race
slip
time
and
for the
needing to
wrong
understand
time.
himself how to manage it? But just maybe explain a little bit to people at home how management works.
I wish I had a better
sure.
snack.
Yeah, it's not just a lap time. You look at which corner puts energy to the tires, and also depending on circuit, where we can look after tires in terms of traction, how you go on power, and then especially the initial stage when you're bringing the tires in, you got to really look after them properly. Otherwise, if you do damage at the initial stage, it's permanent. So that, first, let's say 5, 6, 7 laps until the temperature is getting there is the critical phase.
Was there any discussion when Ollie went wide and he lost all that time before confirmation?
Nah,
over the
I don't
track
think
limits?
the
Was there
I
any
don't think the
discussion to
Mercedes
say,
got
"Look,
it.
Just abandon this lap, recharge the battery. You've got time to go again."
No, Crofty. So in the final session of qualifying, you only have fuel for 1 time lap. So
Okay.
that's it. So even if you had time, you won't have fuel to complete another lap.
That's a very good point, because you've got to save that litre for the sample for the FIA. Now, we're riding on board as well with the safety car, and we're looking at the track conditions. As a team boss, you're going to be happy to go and qualify in 23 minutes' time if they give you the green light?
Obviously, I haven't seen everywhere around the lap. I understand that race control has some concerns on the standing water somewhere around the track, but I do worry about daylight as well. It doesn't look great to me.
It does look very gloomy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And what do you do? Does your team manager, Peter Carolla, does he get in contact with race control? Can he say his piece on that one? And I don't think it's light enough. That's our view. Is that what's going on?
Yes, I mean, we don't want to bother race control all the time, but yes, Pete, our team manager, has passed on that message to race control from our side.
And what do you think the schedule will be like tomorrow?
Like I said, I guess
If
it's
we
to
have
watch
to
along.
qualify in the morning, will the Grand Prix still start?
You guys can't really
at the
see
same time,
what's
or do you
happening
expect them to make
behind the
some
screen.
sort of shift in terms of the day
You can
schedule
hear it
overall?
and see my face,
I
but
don't know exactly. That's my honest answer. But yeah, qualifying would be early in the morning. But then again, we got some rain expected tomorrow morning as well.
I think that's the problem, isn't it? Io, thanks ever so much indeed. Well done with the football, and let's hope it's a double celebration for you at some stage after qualifying.
Thank you, Crofty.
Take care. Thanks ever so much, my friend. Can I read you an excerpt, Karun Chandok, from the
looked pretty gloomy.
sporting regulations for next season in 2025?
Okay.
In the exceptional circumstances that qualifying does not take place in the competition, with the acceptance of the stewards that the session cannot take place,
Those
the grid
houses
for the
look
race
very
will be
close
defined
together.
based upon the Drivers' Championship classifications. So basically, if you can't get qualifying going next
Very
year,
close
you
together.
might be able to use the championship classifications.
Stream on my
That is
laptop's
current
11 this
regulations,
watch along.
so that does
I'm
not
glad to hear
apply.
that. F1
So
boy,
they're gonna have
welcome
to
in. Yeah,
find
you're not
another
allowed to
way
show it, right?
separate
Yeah, you
if,
can't.
as we're
The stream will
expecting,
just show up as a black
or not
screen.
expecting, if qualifying can't take place tonight, and as we're
Panda,
expecting,
you're good, bro.
it is raining in the morning, and you can't get qualifying going there as well.
Well, they would turn to us the free practice times, wouldn't they?
Look how many safety cars there
Or
are.
will they turn to the sprint classification or the sprint qualifying? Because I see your point. You go back to the last qualifying, last practice session,
Yeah.
which I assume is sprint qualifying practice, because
Yes.
that's what they call it. So
Yeah.
they would use that maybe
Maybe.
as a classification.
Well, yeah.
Anyway, I'll just add it to the list of reasons
Nerd.
why I'm glad I'm not a steward.
Just a couple.
That is very true. And that's the radar.
Thank you, beautiful.
I'm glad I'm not a weather forecaster as well, because
Yes.
I'd hate to
Thank
bring
you.
the bad news to all the fans that have come here to Interlagos today that the rain was coming.
Go get
in.
ready.
Yuki Tsunoda's guilty pleasure is singing.
Yeah, have you ever heard him sing?
No. Is he good?
I don't need
He's
any
very
more.
good.
Thank you, though.
To
What
be
did you
honest.
hear him sing?
You're so sweet.
I've heard him do a bit of karaoke.
That was
To
good.
be honest,
Thank you.
I wouldn't say it's a guilty pleasure. He's not too bad at it at all.
I mean, you know, I love karaoke. We should have a
Is
night.
it?
Absolutely. Ted Kravitz, where have you
I thought I
found
fixed it.
shelter at the moment?
Hello, Crofty. I knew you were going to ask me where
Thought
are
I
you. Look out
fixed
of your
it.
commentary box and look left. Should I wave to you? Can you see
Yeah.
me? I'm down outside.
Why
the
does?
pit lane
Why do you
outside
guys
the,
always say that I look
yeah,
sad?
Down by
the
Ferrari.
exactly. So let's have a look at the scene down here in the pit lane. What an image that is, Fred Vasseur. I mean, he's a handsome man at the best of times, but that's almost sort of willing the rain to stop.
'Kay.
Because of course, we've been saying already, Ferrari saw this weather
Title
coming
should be fixed now.
and have taken some measures in their car setup to make them much more optimistic as to how they are going to go in these wet conditions. So while you might think McLaren
Yeah,
are
she
kind
can
of,
have
no,
candy.
let's not do this and we can stop the weather, when
Just
A,
one.
that would be impressive, and B, that would be better for us in terms of our competitiveness. For
Look happier than
Ferrari, it's
yesterday.
the other way round.
Well, I didn't stream
Plenty of
yesterday, but
chances
like I said, I
in wet
haven't been
conditions,
feeling the best.
as I'm sure
So,
does Lewis Hamilton.
sorry.
So,
God.
I don't actually see Hamilton in the Mercedes garage at the moment. For that matter, I don't even see.
That is my
George
youngest daughter,
Russell, but
yes.
It's a hive of activity down here, as I think they're all just waiting to see what's happened. Peter Bono has got a nice mug of tea, and who knew that Bono had a carbon fibre cup of tea as well? Does it actually say? I can't get close enough to see what the does it actually say Peter
Plus,
Bonington
I mean,
on it, or does
you
it
guys
say it's
asked.
hammer time?
You guys asked
Andy,
for
can
this. This
you,
is what happens
can you
when
zoom in on what it says on Peter
nothing
cup of
happens
tea? Oh, it's actually
in the
just
race
name.
or
Oh,
the
it's
or
Cannondale.
for quali.
Oh, I
We're
see,
just
right, the bike
chilling.
manufacturer. Of course, course, Peter Bollington is a very keen.
Sometimes I just
cyclist.
like to chill.
And let's just see if I can interrupt Bradley Lord, who's just looking at the weather radar on here. Can I come a bit closer, or is this all too secret to see, Brad?
It's just the weather radar.
I don't know. It might be your secrets of engineering the car on George Russell's side. So what's the weather radar saying at the moment? We've got
It's
our
a lot
own
of
weather
people.
radar, whereas we can have a look. But yeah, tell us what you can see.
We can just see there's a lot of rain about and it's not really easing off.
A lot of
there's
people.
some shadows on the radar that make it look like it might be easing, but in practical terms it's not. And I think there's more coming down than anyone's managing to clear at the moment. So.
Did we have a little window a bit earlier? I know we tend to play this sort of game, don't we, in Formula One sometimes, that, if only we'd started this on the dot of 4 o'clock, then we might have had a window. But do you think we'd ever had a window?
No, I don't think there's been a window at all. I think it was raining really, really heavily, and then there's still, even if it stops raining, there's still all the water to clear. You can see how wet the runners are as well if anyone goes offline or off track.
If they cancel quality, that'll be boring.
Yeah, it keeps knocking back every quarter of an hour at the moment, so we're only a couple of minutes away from likely the start being delayed again until at least 4:45.
You're old enough to remember the exit of the Senna S and the little river that used to run across the track.
Yeah, and apparently on the resurfacing, those grooves that help clear the water are still there, but fewer in number than they used to be, and certainly on the grid slots as well, there aren't the same.
We are watching F1 on
so
F1
it's also
TV
unknown how this
on the
resurface
international
circuit would
stream.
be in wet conditions, so that's another factor that
Garv,
is
welcome
taken
in.
into consideration.
Okay, all of the mechanics did great work. How much did they change between the sprint race and this qualifying session? Let's talk about your sort of competitiveness.
Not too much.
Look at that guy
A
carrying
couple
food.
couple of tweaks and a couple of modifications just to try and help the drivers feel more confident.
Damn, that's
in
a lot
the
of
car and get a better
ponchos.
balance, but we actually saw with George.
Top
the
3
car, the
predictions:
handling was
Norris,
perfect, but when he wasn't managing the tyres and there was some management
Leclerc,
necessary for us on the
Hamilton.
medium in the sprint, the pace was pretty competitive. So just trying to eke a little bit more out.
Garv, thank you for
within
stopping
the
in, brother.
limitations we've got this weekend.
Okay, you told me after the sprint race
Welcome
you had
in.
to raise the car slightly, as lots of people did, to avoid the bumps. Obviously, in the wet weather, that's a great bonus. So in fact,
Timmy, I
everybody
am
doing that
prepared.
Based on whatever their forecasts are.
Are
for
you
tomorrow.
prepared?
What are your chances if it stays in these conditions for the Grand Prix qualifying and the Grand Prix itself?
I think we'd hope to be pretty competitive. I think when it has been wet so far this year, I think back to Lewis in the damp at Silverstone or qualifying at Spa, we've had a pretty good showing. We know that driver talent and driver ability comes to the fore, and both George and Lewis are fantastic in the wet. So yeah, certainly we'd be feeling we've got a good chance of a strong showing.
Okay, and just finally, you want to give our viewers any best guess as to what kind of qualifying we will have? Would it be a Sunday morning kind of thing, which would be sort of lunchtime?
Raining like
Sunday
crazy.
lunch, or can it be based on any other session?
I think it'd be a Sunday morning qualifying, probably just before people in the UK are having Sunday lunch, and then a race, early, sort of late afternoon and early evening is the most likely outcome, a bit like we've done in Japan a few times in the past.
And what happens if there's no...
Another delay.
Excellent question. I think that's a question for Ron rather than me, but
Well, then there wouldn't be a race. If it's not conditioned to... answering my own
Oh,
I think we'll find a way to set the grid, whether that's based on the sprint or the qualifying session from the sprint, I'm not sure, but there's always a mechanism that they can
if you're
find
talking about
to
in
do that.
general, the inters are
I'm just
faster
seeing,
than full
over
wet
my shoulder
tires.
here, that it's just flashed up on the main coverage, Crofty, that we have at 16:45 local time, so that's another half hour. All right, well, listen, Crofty, any questions for Mercedes down here in the garage? Apart from Toto Wolff chose the right race not to come to, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my question was going to be, as you're talking to Bradley Lord, Director of Communications at Mercedes-Benz, is he Toto Wolff this weekend as Toto's not here, and does he get
Look
to
at
sit
all
in
those
Toto's
phones,
chair?
man.
Crofty always with the cheeky question, Bradley. He was saying, are you Toto Wolff this weekend, and do you get to sit in Toto's chair? I can answer that half. The person sitting in Toto Wolff's chair is actually Kimi Antonelli, is he not, this weekend?
Well, we've taken the chair away, so we're all...
Have you? Where is it? Where's the chair?
It's in the back of the garage.
Where's it gone?
It's just round the back.
What's there now?
Just a space in which those of us who are here can stand.
Can we have a look?
By all means.
Wow, okay, right. Well, you lead on. Well, you started something now, Crofty, haven't you? So it was a very good question as to what's happened to Toto Wolff's chair. Oh, Bradley's absolutely right. So there's nothing here. You're right, Lee. Don't show anything sensitive on the car. There is absolutely nothing here. So come on, Lee. There you go. There you go. In here. There is the Toto Wolff area. So in qualifying, I saw I saw, or rather in the sprint race, I saw Kimi Antonelli standing here. So you're in your normal place, having a look at all the interesting stuff over there.
Yeah, exactly. Myself and Kimi were here. Kimi's actually had to head off now because he's testing in Qatar next week, so he's got a flight this evening. And Toto is back at home and very much present on the intercom and even potentially watching us at the moment. So.
Can you
Thank
say
you very
hello to
much.
him, Ted?
Can I say hello to Kimi or to
No,
Toto?
to Toto. Get on the intercom.
Well,
Say hello to him.
oh, I see.
Is he there?
Toto is on the intercom. Yes, that's a very good point. So
Press a
which
button.
which
press the
button is
button that
actually
says
Toto
Toto.
on there? He won't hear me unless I'm on a headphone. Well, I could just interrupt him anyway.
Well,
the
just-
only
just
ones I
pick
can
up the
say,
headset,
the only ones
pick
I
up the
can see.
headset, press the button, you'll be fine.
Come around as Pitwall, Marcus George, Lewis Bono. It would be odd, really, for Toto's position here to have Toto on there. Oh no, there it is, TW. Yeah. No,
Go
is
on,
he not
shout
there?
in the microphone. Shout in the
He
microphone.
will be there, but he won't hear me. Okay, all right. Well, listen, I'll press it anyway. It's saying, "We miss you, Toto." There you go. He won't be listening. Bradley's
I bet
now
he
listening.
will. I bet he will. And I bet he's on the phone now to Bradley Lord saying, "Don't let that man in our garage again."
You get me into all sorts of scrapes, you two, honestly. Okay,
know-
well, listen. Sorry, Crofty, go on.
I was going to say, do you know what I love? The fact that you thought Kimi Antonelli was sat down when there's no chair there and he was obviously standing up. I know he's not the tallest driver ever, but you know, you could have spotted that.
Honestly, don't be cheeky. So, yeah, I mean, listen, that's a little snippet about Kimi Antonelli. What's the next? The next race we go to, obviously, is Las Vegas, but then
Then
Qatar is there. So that's interesting that next year's Mercedes driver is now going to Qatar, and I know it's testing with a previous spec car, but well, for Mercedes to go to Qatar with it would be a 2021 car, wouldn't it not?
It would.
Or maybe they can get the 2022
22.
car. Yeah,
They
it's a
get
two-year-old
22
car, isn't it, Karun? Obviously, there's not much, that can be sort of transferred, but well, you never know. Some little update on conditions from Kimi Antonelli's test at Qatar before we go there in a couple of races' time. Not suggesting there's anything trick about that. It's just all allowed under the rules, but fortuitous, you might say. So that was an interesting little snippet.
1 hour later.
Yeah, I mean, there's obviously a lot of rules and
You guys are
and
some
regulations
trolls.
as to what they can and can't run in these test sessions. But the main thing is that Kimi Antonelli is just getting time at tracks that he won't have raced at before and getting some very useful experience. And that's what a lot of drivers coming into Formula One have been doing for some time now.
Well, Mercedes are doing the job that really drivers used to do 10, 15, 20 years ago in terms of preparing to come in.
I really am
the team
starving,
said
man.
To me, he's going to do over 10,000 kilometers before the first test next year, which is kind of what Lewis Hamilton did if you go back to 2006.
Stop it.
With McLaren.
Get some help.
Yeah, they've got to give him every opportunity to be ready when we get to Melbourne next year.
I'm
Safety cars
hungry.
going out again, the rain continuing to fall. There hasn't really been a gap here. The rain might have eased off, but there was a lot of standing water. The drains were struggling to drain all that water away. And
I'm
some of
hungry.
The grassy verges on the side of the track resemble Glastonbury after a downpour and a couple of days with
I'm waiting,
150,000,
old
music fans
man.
trampling over them. It is very, very
What do you want me to do?
and officially, estimated time of qualifying starts in 25 minutes. We'll keep you posted. In the meantime, let's head down to the Haas garage. Rachel is with Ollie Behrman.
Well, Ollie, I've dragged you out of hospitality where you're staying nice and warm and dry, but I guess you'd rather be out there right now.
Yeah, it's a bit disappointing, with this weather, but I think at the moment it's a bit too wet to drive. But at the same time, we're losing daylight, so let's see how it goes.
What would you think if it went to tomorrow morning?
I could go to sleep
Stretch.
early tonight, so that would be nice. No, I mean, I would like to do a qualifying session. I think at the moment it could be a bit risky, but I know that the track, staff are working hard to dry the track and make it safe. I think once we get on track, once the cars start running, then the track will be okay. It's not really a problem, but it's just to get to a safe enough water level to get out there.
What do you like driving in the wet?
Well, I haven't really driven F1 in the wet before. I've done one day, a Pirelli test actually with Ferrari, so at least I've driven the car in inters and wets. It's very different, it's moving around a lot more and there's lots of standing water, but I think this track looks pretty fun in the wet. And I was watching all of Max's onboards from 2016 when he was passing everyone, which was pretty cool.
That's a good way to spend your time right now, watching those, just to see if those are going to be the conditions. But what about another series that have got on in the wet? Do you enjoy driving in the wet?
Yeah, I quite like it. It's always more fun, always less predictable. It's very open when it rains, so hopefully we can have a good one.
All right, thanks very much, Ollie. I'll let you go back in the dry and walk.
Thank you.
So 4:22 it is in the afternoon here in Sao Paulo. Official sunset is in almost exactly 2 hours. It's actually at 6:21. So that just shows you've got 2 hours of daylight, but it's not daylight, it's gloom. And they keep on going round, and at the moment we're hearing that they're gonna give it a go, or if they do give it a go, as Crofty was saying there, in around about 23 minutes time at 1:45 the hour. But it isn't easing up. There's no doubt about it. A few of the cars are, there's plenty of vehicles out there on the track at the moment, as I was saying, but it's still coming down, and all of those vehicles trying to
That's
clear
the man
it.
right
Sort of
there.
a Sisyphean task, isn't it? Because the more they clear, the more it comes down.
Why are you asking me? I showed you a video I took of how much rain was falling, and you just dismissed it as being meaningless.
You are a rain expert.
I mean, I went out there, made the effort to go and have a look, and there's a puddle, and it's literally like someone's got a shower hose in there. I mean, it is coming down.
I'm on
I
F1.
can't see this running at all. I mean, I don't want to pour cold water on it, but I mean, it is literally, it's not showing signs of lightening up, or both in the intensity and also the light. I mean, it literally.
Yeah, Panda will warm up again for
we
sure.
are trying to figure out what would happen. I mean, obviously they prioritise the race tomorrow, but with the forecast being as it is, if we can't get both sessions, then what they want to do is they have to prioritise the race. I'm hearing from inside Aston Martin, so what Andy Stevenson was debating, their sporting director, whether actually what's going to set the grid if we don't get qualifying in would be the final placement in the sprint.
Yeah, a lot of debate in the paddock, depending on who you speak to, about what would actually set the grid for the race. There's actually nothing in the regulations that says what would happen in this eventuality. In the regulations for normal weekend, it says that if qualifying doesn't go ahead, or if the driver doesn't set a lap in qualifying, it goes back to P3. It also says that for sprint qualifying, if there's no sprint qualifying, it can go back to P1. So that's in the regulations, but there isn't actually this case covered where if we don't have Saturday qualifying on a sprint weekend, where it goes. So dependent on which team read the regulations, I think every team will have a different view on what session it should go back to.
And they'll all be lobbying for
they'll
their
all
best
be
position.
pushing in one direction. But the only thing that is explicitly written in the regulations is that it could go back to P1. Now, we don't know. They'd have to, either way, either if qualifying goes to Sunday morning, depending on which sessions they choose to set the grid, that'll need another directive from the FIA, so it'll be like published as an extra. You know, we get the FIA documents published. It'll be published as an update to the regulation, because even in regulations you're not meant to run a qualifying on Sunday morning. So either way there'll be a change of regs.
I don't think there's anything else to add to that. I think if it does end up being tomorrow morning, because it doesn't look like the water's, you know, as Damon said, he's got a great video of it. There's lots of water out there, and at the same time, we're losing visibility. So there is a likelihood it could happen tomorrow if that's the option they choose. But that will make it a very draining Sunday. I mean, qualifying, 3 qualifying stints, and then on top of that, a Grand Prix. It's a demanding day for the drivers.
The problem is, if this is like this tomorrow,
Yep,
it is.
Panda. Check it in now.
Very tricky. The problem with this is, you know, I said it drains because it's on a hill, but we've got this long run up from Zhengzhou up towards the start and finish, and it's always a corner. And we saw, was it Fernando had and Mark Webber had the most monumental shunt up there as well. I mean, you know, it's bad enough if you're going down a straight because you aquaplane and the car could go anywhere, but when you've got constant corners as well, trying to accelerate, and no visibility.
Coming off the back of
this is the issue.
Yeah, no doubt about it. All right, we've been keeping busy. We're trying to get around the paddock and hear from as many people as possible. Let's hear from Jack Doohan again with Rachel.
Well, Jack, I know in your role as reserve driver, you have to do a lot of waiting around, but the drivers out there today are doing the same right now. The car, though, with Pierre in the sprint earlier, looked pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I don't know how the wet's going to favour us. You know, it's a new track surface as well. Apparently it's quite slippery in the wet and damp conditions, so it could create opportunity in the race, but the qualifying, we want to be starting farther, far up the grid anyway. So we were quite happy with the dry conditions. If we can get running though today, that would be great.
It's opportunity though, isn't it, wet running? I mean, because anything can happen, and when you're in a position like you're in, you need some points on Williams right now as a team.
Yeah, exactly. You know, we took a great 2 points today, which is an equivalent to a strong P9 finish. knowing that we had, you know, Perez and also Hamilton behind us, which if that was a normal race, most probably they would have came past us. So knowing that tomorrow P9's looking like, you know, to be a strong target. If we have the car that we had today, same conditions, you know, that would look quite promising. But this weather has just put it all up in the air.
You do a lot in the sim. What's this car been like? Have you done Brazil in the wet in the sim in the last week?
I have not, no. I will be doing a wet Pirelli tyre test in a couple of weeks, but definitely not here in Sao Paulo. You know, I do really enjoy the wet. I haven't drove a Formula 1 car on the wet yet either, so it will be great knowledge ahead of next year.
All right, thanks very much, Dad. Thanks.
Thank you so much.
Well, this might be the Brazilian Grand Prix, and the chant was normally "Ole, ole, ole, Senna, Senna." That's going on, but it's being drowned out by "Ole, ole, ole, Franco." Franco, what does this mean to you, my man, to have this kind of support here in South America?
It's great to see. It's very nice to see all the support. Yesterday was a very sad day for me. I didn't enjoy the day too much, but today in the morning I woke up in a good mood. I was happy to be here again and to see all these fans, all these people that are supporting, and they are so passionate to be in the sport, and now to have an Argentinian driver, it's very nice to see how much they are enjoying with me, you know. And I am extremely grateful for all the effort that they have done to come all this way from Argentina. Some they have been traveling 2 days on a bus, and you know, I hope they are not getting too wet today, but I really appreciate all the effort that they have done to be here.
I was really sorry to hear about your news, my man, but apparently flights from Buenos Aires to Sao Paulo have sold out. That's the effect that you are having on this sport, on your countrymen, on people who love motor racing, love sport. We know that
Okay, when you're ready, let's go.
Stars. Has this taken even you by surprise?
Well, no, I always knew how the Argentinians were. They are very passionate about their athletes, and they are very supportive always. Yeah, the airlines should be happy about it, I guess. About the Colapinto, they are pretty happy about it.
But the fact is for you, man. Like, this is all for you.
Yeah, I know. And it's crazy to think, you know, about something of this happening a couple of months ago. I was not expecting this year to win F1, and when Carlos got announced, I thought not even next year I was going to be in. So, you know, to get this surprise and to have so many good results so far, it is a great way to start my journey into Formula 1. And yeah, I'm very excited for the future, for what's ahead, and now to get my first outing on the wet soon. So, look, new experiences every weekend, new challenges, race after race, and yeah, just getting all that experience under my belt, it's going to be great for the future.
You're impressing everyone in the sport.
Instead of a snack, I got
few of us have seen
2 suckers.
In Formula 1. Long may it continue, my man. Good luck in qualifying. Have a great rest of the weekend.
Yeah, yes, indeed. There are absolutely thousands of Franco Colapinto fans in here. We have to say the Argentine crowd is a big one, a noisy one. Every single flight we said from Buenos Aires to Sao Paulo this weekend. We've booked up 50 buses, made the first.
Timmy, we're warming up.
And I'd like to say, just to the reserve driver from Aston Martin, Drogovic is alongside Felipe Jan. And we're just actually talking here about the reception that Franco Colapinto is getting here. We know how passionate Latin American fans are. So you must feel the love coming back here.
Yeah, for me it's always crazy every time I come here. You know, first time I come here was as a karting driver in 2011, and I was one of them, you know, at the grandstands. And now for the past 3 years coming here, even though it's reserve driver, it's such a great thing for me. You know, they are sometimes shouting my name on the main straight, and it's something crazy for me that I wouldn't imagine it would happen one day.
So I'd imagine you've done lots of simulator laps around this track, and just to ask for the people at home, I think I know the answer, but I want your opinion on it. This track, do you practice in these conditions? Do you do simulator runs in wet conditions, or is it always just dry runs?
Normally on the simulator it's just dry conditions. It's quite hard to replicate a wet situation. But obviously there's many things you can test on the dry that, you know, indicates a little things on the wet as well. And those things you can try in the simulator. So yeah, it's never a wet simulation, but sometimes it can help.
What would you be feeling right now if you had to be standing around with the possibility of going out in these conditions? Trepidation, or you love it?
I think in this condition, how the team is doing right now, I think would be actually quite a good thing. You know, the track wasn't sweeping the car so well, and maybe some rain wouldn't hurt. So
position you're having to be, okay? Because, you know, we see it's, you know, everyone that gets a chance nowadays seems to be taking it from the young drivers. You go down and look at, you know, Ollie Ben and look at Franco. I mean, how frustrating do you find it when you know that you're just begging for that chance?
Yeah, it's sometimes. Okay, be careful with the front wing. You've taken some minor damage.
My dream is to be there, and I'm just fighting for it. I don't want to stop fighting.
Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap.
Kill to be in my position at the same time. So, you know, it's good things that we need to think about, and we would try to, you know, just be happy with what I have right now. But for sure, I'm fighting and I'm doing everything that I can to be there one day. So it's just the balance.
Confirmed.
Of, you know,
We'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Feeling bad for what I don't have yet. So yeah, hopefully.
I've always wondered what it's like for guys who are standing around in the waiting room. I mean, how do you satisfy your racing, you know, hunger? Because clearly that's the thing that you're missing. You can do as many simulations and all the rest of it, but you really want to get in a race. So do you go karting or something like that? What do you do?
No, I've been doing quite a lot of endurance racing this year. So I've done Le Mans, I've done European Le Mans Series. So yeah, just having some fun with prototype cars, and yeah, I think hopefully that you know, fills me in a little bit with the time, and also, you know, just keeping me active and racing, also ready for this in case I need to replace someone. But obviously the focus is obviously just try to get a main seat one day.
Given what you just said about, you know, you obviously want a permanent seat, that's obviously the goal.
Checks complete. Everyone be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
Balance of learning for the team versus showing what you can do in the car. You know, how do you get your mindset into that and not just go out and try and set a really fast lap first run P1?
I think at the moment, you know, I've been with the team for a long time already. You know, I can consider a long time, 2 years. And every time I jump in the car, I think I do a great job. They like it, and I think I don't need to show much more.
I think it's Oliver Behrman.
The times that I jumped in the car, they are very keen on trying stuff, and because I think they trust me, so that's a good thing. And yeah, that's the main goal. I think just doing the job for the team. Obviously, if I can have some fun at the end, I'll try to do it. But obviously, you know, you try to be very safe with the car as well.
When you talk to members of the pit crew, obviously in recent years you've had Sebastian Vettel in there and now Fernando Alonso. It's amazing what they say about what they learn from a double world champion like Fernando or quadruple world champion like Sebastian Vettel. In your position, I know you have your own racing that you do and you're focusing on, but how much do you try to learn? Do you try to absorb as much as you can from what Fernando is doing and how he goes about his race weekends?
Yeah, I try to live with the team, you know, just be in the same mood as the team and try to help them as well. Like I have my own computer, just trying to look at the data and videos, trying to help the team spot a few things, different things, what the other drivers are doing, other teams are doing, and you know, try to give my feedback.
I don't know who it is.
You know, sometimes it's not enough, and I try to do the best I can, but you know, I think I prefer to live like that than just, you know, sit around and wait.
Well, what have you picked up? Tell me, what have you picked up of Fernando Alonso that you think...
From Fernando, you can pick up a lot of things, you know, the approach he has and the attention to little details is pretty impressive. I think that's the thing you can learn from it, and you know, everything is looking at he picks up small things that you probably wouldn't, and they actually make a big difference at the end of the day. So that's pretty impressive from him, and you know, he's trying to bring the whole team forward with him, and he has obviously a lot of experience.
It's difficult to say, you know, how do you get an opportunity as soon as possible, because then that would be at the expense of another driver, and you kind of, you know, that is always the problem with F1, isn't it? There's only 20 seats. We're seeing a lot of younger drivers make it through with just an opportunity, but here you are lurking around at the back of the garage, you know, do you feel uncomfortable about that?
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. You know, I can't change it. There is, you know, I can sit there and complain or just try to help the team and do the job, show what I can do, and that's what I try to do. Be positive about it. Sometimes when I'm alone, I'm not that positive sometimes, but you know, you just try to do everything that you can to be there and be helpful and happy with God.
We spoke a lot this weekend about Oliver Behrman stepping into the Haas for Kevin Magnussen. Given your position within the team, let's say if one of the drivers was unable to take part in the next session, what do you think would be the biggest challenge for you to get into that car and make it happen? What's the biggest challenge for a driver in that position?
I mean, I think in terms of racing, I think, you know, just trying to understand every compound of the tires. I think the tires are pretty complicated
to to understand the difference of them, especially like if you jump in the sprint race weekend like this, you probably go for practice with one set of mediums, and then you go to the softs, and then you go for quali already new tires again, so you only had one experience on tires. So I think that's the most difficult thing, just trying to understand the tires and how to work.
I don't know who this is.
But yeah, in my position now, I think the most difficult thing is to find a place, a seat. So yeah, we'll see.
It is, but let me just pick you up on what's going on at this team at the moment. It must be an exciting place to be around. Lawrence is building his dream team, isn't he? You've got the factory that is, it's
Who's Aston Martin's reserve driver?
Silverstone. It's got all the best equipment, and now Lawrence is getting, admittedly, he's putting a boy band together, if you like, of some of the best designers we've seen. You think about Adrian Newey and Andy Cowell. You've got Dan Fallows in there. You've got very experienced sporting director in Andy Stevenson. This team has always punched above its weight when it was in Racing Point's time and Force India, but have you seen it move to this next level, and what is the anticipation like for the arrival of all these key individuals?
Okay, we've only got one lap of fuel remaining.
The future is quite bright for the team, with Adrian coming in, wind tunnel coming in soon, new simulator coming in soon, so everything is brand new, and so the team has all the facilities that they need.
Understood.
So
stopping this lap.
The learning and improving curve will be very steep for us. So yeah, I think they have everything, and it'll be quite nice to see the evolution of the team.
Yeah, just a quick one though on the results so far this weekend. Gone back to the Suzuka floor. It's not quite working to 18 with the team. It was a disappointing sprint result.
Mind that front wing. It's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Google is awesome.
Okay, we can take you this lap.
It's probably who they're interviewing.
The best weekend at the end of the year. Obviously, not many upgrades are going to come from here on. So just need to try to find the best pieces and put them together. And yeah, we'll see what happens. I think this track is actually not suiting the car, as you can see. But next few ones will be for sure better.
Thanks very much for stopping by. Fingers crossed you get into the car for another practice
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
See these guys getting into the best cars in the world. An update, you probably saw it on screen. We're going to try and get going at 5 o'clock. How long is that? We have a quick look here. Damien,
20 minutes.
20 minutes. So that's 8 p.m. UK time. But as I mentioned, we are running out of light, really. You can see them going round in the safety car now.
Oh, we have another 20 minutes.
21 minutes past 6 o'clock. Okay, let's go to Ted.
Donut, welcome in.
Thank you very much, Simon. So 20 minutes still.
I'm doing a little bit better, brother.
The inevitable is the FIA going to say that the conditions have not improved sufficiently, and that we'll have to try again on Sunday morning. So let's have a look at the Senna S. So you can see the safety car going round. I'm sure the safety car is about to pass down the main start. We'll see how it actually goes through the Senna S. And well, first of all, you can say that the crowd is still in the grandstand. You can see that city of Sao Paulo, always ahead, says the logo. And then let me show you that sort of river of water that goes down just by the crash barrier on the outside of the Senna S. You can probably see the sheen of the water, the difference in the appearance of the tarmac just by that advertising hoarding. If you just follow it down, you can see where that river of water actually hits the curb, and then there's the change of that the change of the diamond cut surface, which, as we were talking with Bradley North and Mercedes, is still there, but isn't as wide or as sort of widespread across that part of the corner as it was in the old surface. So yeah, the safety car is just coming down the main straight now, and I think that even if that is not going at full pelt, then it's really impossible to see how Formula One car, 1,000 horsepower, and even with the full wet tyres, which can displace so much water, would really be able to continue in these conditions. But we'll follow it down, and as you see round to the exit of the Senna S, here is the safety car. So is it actually going...
DRS now enabled. DRS enabled.
It hits the curve just on the outside. You never know, David Croft, this might actually... Oh wow, did you see the water that it was splashing up on the exit curve of the Senna S there? Okay, that's not possible. So as you see on the main feed, Fred Vasseur was literally his head in his hands, Crofty. Yeah, so we're we're just waiting for the inevitable cancellation, I would imagine in about 15 to 16, 17 minutes time. What do you think, Scott?
I think we might get it before then, and I could well be wrong, and it would not be the
See,
first time in my
I
life
hate
that
spoilers. This is why I don't like doing watch alongs.
Now that you're in the wake of the car ahead, try to get past as soon as possible.
Heavier than it was. That's the squashing that's going on with Bernd Mailander in the safety car, and Ted was right there in the right moment. He went through the center S's to capture quite a moment for Bernd Mailander that, well, everyone else saw on the feed. And there's Fred Vasseur, the Ferrari team boss. I think he knows that the game
Okay, you have some front wing damage, but not enough to justify a stop in the remaining laps. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Yeah, there it is.
Secret's been revealed.
Yes, quite the ice cream producer, but I think he's also looking at what's going on the track. And just a few minutes ago, Stefano Domenicali, the CEO for Formula One, went along the pit wall, spoke to Andrea Stella, went next to Aston Martin. Careful to put his foot up because it's collected a bit of water. So come on, Mike. The team principal, what's crack here? And Mike Crack said, I think it's a bit too far.
Okay, mate, final lap. Keep your concentration and let's bring it home.
To me, the prelude to the safety car coming out.
Wow, that was a heck of an impact. Let me know you're okay.
Car possibly telling us that it's too wet. We're going to have to come back tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely too wet now. These F1 cars will be aquaplaning all over the place. And I know they've got these trucks driving around, but as we heard earlier, the rain's coming on harder than they can clear it. So I think we should just call it at this point, to be honest.
You're fed up, aren't you? Your soggy socks have got the better of you now.
Well, also the fans, right? They've spent an hour and 44 minutes now staring at rain falling. They can't go home and dry off. You know, they're all just sort of waiting in 15-minute increments. So, and look at that radar. It's just completely, the track is in the bullseye of that radar image, and it's, you know, it's just completely swamped with rain.
I love that. Fun fact, Lauren Mecky's finally got to go on honeymoon about 3 years late.
Well, it's better than me. I went 4 years after our wedding.
Really? Can you have a chat with Mrs. Croft about that? Because she's pressing me for dates at the moment as to when we can go away, and I'm not quite sure it's going to be during close season. Oh, the first world problems.
Oh, F1.
That F1 brings us on that one. 4 years late on your honeymoon.
Yeah, we went in, 3 years and 3 months.
She still loves you, though. So this is the scene. Officially, we have an estimated time of 5 o'clock, which is in 15 minutes, to see if we can get qualifying going. I can't see it. You can't see it. And guess what? It has just flashed up on our screens, in our commentary box. Start of qualifying is postponed. Now, that is the FIA now saying we have not got an estimated time. So this could go on a lot longer. And I wouldn't be at all surprised, Corinne Chandok, in a few moments' time, if it doesn't say qualifying will be tomorrow.
There we go, Stefano Domenicali on the phone. Probably having that conversation now.
Now, there is no provision in the sporting regs, the regulations, for how we would set a grid for a Grand Prix if we can't have qualifying. Interestingly, there is for next year's regulations, but they haven't been adopted as yet. So there's a number of options open to the stewards, but first and foremost, if we can't, absolutely, James, if you can't get qualifying done tonight, you'll try and get qualifying done tomorrow. But the weather forecast is not good for tomorrow morning.
So just so explain to maybe people at home, the message that's come up on the screen says start of qualifying is postponed. The previous message all said estimated time was XYZ, but it doesn't actually say the words until tomorrow.
No,
so
it doesn't.
We're trying to make an assumption here.
Yeah, I think we're making an assumption based on they've taken the time away.
Exactly.
So there might follow a we can't run it today message coming up. So what would you, if you were the stewards, and we couldn't get qualifying going tomorrow morning, and that's still a big if, we don't know that, what would you think would be a fair and reasonable way to set a grid for the Grand Prix tomorrow afternoon?
Honestly, I think we've had one qualifying session.
Yeah.
And all 20 cars were out in that session and got to do a time in dry conditions. I would use that.
which I can't agree with, you know, any more highly. To be honest, it would make a lot of sense. That qualifying session was for the sprints, which these two shared a 1-2 finish for McLaren, Lando Norris and Oscar Piastri, and they were 1-2 on the grid as well. And they've come out to wave to the fans and to give the fans a few pictorial moments and a few cheers as well. This has the feeling now that we're just kind of, we're getting to a resolution that's going to be, we're coming back tomorrow. You know, mechanics starting to pack things away in the garages, drivers coming out to wave at the fans.
Yeah. I don't think using free practice is really a fair thing to do in this circumstances. You know, for example, Max Verstappen was doing more race prep.
Yeah.
So he will end up 10 plus 5, 15th on the grid. Lewis Hamilton didn't run the soft tire, so we didn't see the best of him. So it's unfair to those drivers who used a different run plan to use a free practice. I think we should use, if we cannot run tomorrow's qualifying, and we can run the Grand Prix, because we don't know what the weather will be, then I think we should use the sprint qualifying. It was run in dry conditions, and it'll be fine.
This is not going to take place, this qualifying tonight. That is a garage.
Taking a car apart.
Is taking a car apart. Because the cars are still not in Parc Fermé, because they were taken out of Parc Fermé after the sprint. They are mechanics that are getting ready to come back another day. And that's not just a Mercedes. I'm looking at RB at the moment. They're doing exactly the same thing. They're doing it at Alpine too. We have no official confirmation from the FIA, but I'm going to call this now and say that qualifying will be postponed until tomorrow at the very earliest.
Yeah,
if indeed that we get it going in the morning.
Yeah, the Williams team, they're all packing away their spare wings, and the tyres are being wheeled away from different garages, I can see as well. So yeah, Coffee, you're an influential man. I don't know if there's any word from the FIA yet.
There's no word as yet in terms of official confirmation, but I think we can quite definitely say qualifying is not going to take place here in Sao Paulo tonight. So maybe like Japan 04 and Japan 2010 and Japan 2019 and Austin in 2015 and Melbourne in 2013, we're going to have a Sunday morning qualifying, which actually is a really spicy day for everyone on that one, and everyone has got to be on the top of their game, including us. It's going to be a very busy day for us crewing tomorrow, and drivers as well. And it just adds a little, you know, frissons to the day, doesn't it?
Yeah, Super Sunday, absolutely.
Now, Super Sunday. Now, why didn't I think of that? You should trademark that. That's a good catchphrase.
For someone who knows.
Well, that was anticlimactic. That was anticlimactic. We're back. Oh. Oh, excuse me. That was anticlimactic. All right, y'all, I'll be right back.
Oh, darling, if I had bought you flowers, would would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought this moment could be ours. While I'm walking on you through the night, you can break my bones, break all the promises, but leave me alone. Don't break my heart. You should fucking stay with him.
We're back. We're back. We're back. We're back. No, King and Kinzog cannot make it. We are racing without an engineer this weekend. No engineer this weekend. Should be an interesting race. Should be an interesting race. Oh, I don't know why that didn't work. Trying to delete emails right now. We have a little bit of time to kill. Since we have a little time to kill, trying to go through and delete some emails. I don't know why it keeps doing this. Almost there. No more emails. See how that works? Trying to clear all these notifications. Alright, I'm ready to get into it whenever. Whenever we finally decide to start. Oh.
Standing by.
Let's get into it.
Okay, just 2 laps of fuel remaining now. Understood. Stopping this lap. Okay, we can take you this lap.
I'm gonna use the restroom real quick.
Oh darling, if I had bought you flowers, would you still be here by my side? Yeah, I thought the smoke could be ours while I'm walking alone through the night. You can break my bones, break all the promises.
Right, so our best lap so far, 1 minute 09.2. Okay, the circuit's clear at the moment. We're good to go.
Yeah, I've been lonely.
We're currently 6th in the speed trap, 281.9 kilometers per hour. If you start to suffer from oversteer, come in and let us have a look at the setup. You'll get oversteer if the rear tyres lose grip before the front. Usually this will be coming from a lack of rear downforce or an overly stiff rear suspension, but a little tweak with negative camber or toe in can also help with this.
I'm supposed to be, I start to believe I can't get it right. The days I let slip away were simpler time. Mama told me before, if there's only one thing you remember from me, child, when you're out on your own, a million miles from home, feeling the weight of the world on your shoulders. Child, don't forget.
We're back. Okay, 5 minutes left. Fence between me and Wiccan. Panda has pole for sure. We might lose P2 to Wiccan. We're gonna do our damnedest to keep it though.
Right, our best lap so far, 1:09.2.
We're gonna do our damnedest to keep it. We got 4 minutes left on the clock.
We're 7th in the speed trap, 281.9 kilometers per hour. Okay guys, everyone be aware, the car's ready to go.
All right. See what we can do here.
Mind that front wing, it's going to need replacing if it takes too much damage.
Let's go P2. One, two for McLaren. Panda on the pole. Donut's phone is dying. He'll be back in 10 minutes. 5/10 on Wicken. 6/10 on Nathan. We only lost 3/10 to Panda there. Pretty good lap from us. Let's hope we get a good start. Good strategy. Let's run it. Panda's on the medium tire. Oh god. Alright. He's gonna get a better start than us, but alrighty, brother. Sounds good. I'm going probably to 22 or 23 on these hard tires. Oh my Timmy, bro.
Right, let's have you in at the end of this lap, please.
You have to be kidding me. Oh. You gotta be joking me, Timmy, bro. Talk about ruining a race.
Okay, mate, that's it. Go.
What a
go,
great
go.
fucking start. Hate racing with people who can't understand how to work a racing
stay
line,
clear
bro.
of the white line on the exit. We'll receive a penalty for dangerous driving if you cross onto the track. Okay, this isn't your true position. They haven't pitted yet, so don't waste time fighting. Bring your tyres in gently and let's go for it. We can now use DRS. DRS now available. Use your overtake button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on. Watch out for understeer in the wake of the car ahead. Try to get past as quickly as you can. Push, push. Okay, gap to the car in front, 15.7 seconds. Gap to your teammate behind, 31.8 seconds. You're increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep it up. The track is clear, green flag. Pitting this lap then. Come into the pits at the end of this lap. Okay, off we go, back into the race.
Talk about someone ruining your race, man. Timmy put me in the fucking dirt.
Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Okay, be careful with the front wing, you've taken some minor damage. Confirmed, we'll receive you at the end of this lap.
Obviously not a good day for McLaren.
Right, let's go, come on!
I mean, we had the worst start ever. Literally, we were pushing to the fucking wall. Like, whatever, bro. We're a lap down now.
You only have to stop once now, one stop left.
No offense, Timmy, but fuck you.
Don't forget, you got more control than ever over your ERS mode, so play
I'd
around
literally
with
be
them in your
fighting with
MFD.
Wiccan on the same lap right now if it wasn't for your starter.
Okay, no issues with tyre wear for now. Keep taking care of them. Okay, we've been given a time penalty. It will go against our finishing time at the end of the race. Get your head down and let's get
This
it done.
track's so annoying, bro. I don't even know why we put it on the fucking calendar.
Blue flag.
Even if you try and put a Monaco in next season, I'm not racing it. I'm so tired of this track.
ERS is low, ERS is low. Consider changing mode on your MFD or lift a little
Literally
with
shoved
gentle
into the
braking
wall
into
in lap
corners to
1.
recharge it.
Welcome, Donut. Now our only chance is a safety car. Doesn't even seem like those are turned on, to be honest with you. Broke our front wing like 4 times. Graphics looking smooth. Appreciate that, Donut.
Okay, gap to the car ahead, 56.1 seconds.
Yeah, if I would have known that, bro. Well, with no safety car possibilities, we're pretty much fucked. So that's cool. Looks like Timmy put someone else in the wall. Hello? Yep, not ideal. Not ideal at all, and then the rest of the race just fell apart pretty much. And the fact that safety cars aren't on is pretty much tantalizing our whole entire strategy. I don't know. Oversight, I guess. Yeah, it's not going to be on the next season.
Just so you know, we're getting some strange readings from a couple of the sensors. I don't think you need to be worried, just some bad data. So keep doing what you're doing. I'll let you know if we notice any genuine problems.
Yep. Appreciate you stopping in. Appreciate it, Donut.
Wow, that was a heck of an
GG's.
impact. Let me know you're okay.
Oh, pretty much the day right there. Pretty much how the whole fucking day's been going. Oh, 11 laps. Not ideal at all. That's what happens. Fucking Monaco. Yep. I mean, what are you gonna do? This track sucks anyways. Red Bull Ring up next. Alrighty, brother. Have a good day. We'll hopefully be back on form by the next weekend, so. Alrighty, brother. Later. Handed him the win there. GG's. It's not your fault, Panda. Benno, thanks for stopping in, brother. Doing alright. Could have been better. Performed pretty horribly today in the league race, so pretty upset about that, but no, we just have to sit here and act like we are interested in the end of this race. 12 more laps. Oh. Wake me up when they're done racing. Ten more laps. You having a rest gaining 10 more viewers. Well, welcome in everybody. I apologize that we couldn't perform better today. Panda says that we can leave. Might just take him up on that offer. Yeah, we're going to call it there. We can probably see Timmy and Wiccan winning. Apologies, I could not race better today. Apologies that I could not race better today. Hopefully next week we can perform a little bit better. That's going to be it for me today. Do hope you guys have a lovely evening, lovely weekend. Hopefully the race tomorrow is interesting. I will see you guys next week on Tuesday, and that's going to be it for me. You guys have a great day. Peace.
Oh, darling, if I